I was always asking myself, where do these people get these crazy AI photos that you see on the YouTube thumbnails or on other images here and there? You'll see these AI pictures generated. If you Google AI image generator or AI portrait generator, then you'll get all these AI generators that charge you 50 bucks or 20 bucks for creating a couple of portraits, but you're not really in control because these are all wrappers, right? Let's Google one of them, AI headshot. You have here Aragon AI, for example. This is a very smart way of just wrapping up an API for image generation for you to make it easier for the general user to create AI generated portraits. However, if you're a little bit more geeky and a little bit more into this and you want to create your own images and you want to be in full control, you can just go to the AI image generator providers yourself. Some of them might be MidJourney, and recently I stumbled upon FAL AI. So let's go check it out together. I've already been playing around with this a little bit, so I'm going to give you a little bit more insights on how you can use it and what you need to do, because it did take me some time to get this all set up and to figure out what actually works. So when you sign up for FAL AI, you got to go add some balance. I think there's a little bit of free credits at the beginning when you get started. However, then you'll have to give it some credits because you need to train a model. Now, this is something really similar to what these wrappers or these companies are doing as well, but here you're in full control. So you can decide how many pictures you want to give. You can train multiple AI models and get them exactly to how you want them to be in the end. So what I started using here is there's a bunch of models. You can do image to text to video to everything. There's almost for every situation there's a model, and I'm sure they're really cool as well. What I've been playing around with mainly is the portrait image generator. It's called Flux LoRa Portrait Trainer. I tried some other modules just to play around with it a little bit, but this one seems to be really good for these portrait pictures that you get. Now, before you get started, there's a few things that you need to be aware of. When you click here and you upload your images, you probably have a lot of images. You want to start with at least 50 images. If you do less, then it's not going to be trained as well, and it just doesn't work as well. So when you add images, these images are probably big. If you're doing them with your iPhone, it's going to be a couple of gigs to put all this together, and the interface just crashes when you add the images alone. So you're going to have to zip them up in a file. So you go ahead and you take 50 images or 100 if you want, and you zip them up in a file and you upload it here and you start training the module. When you do these portrait images of yourself, I was trying to understand what actually helps this AI model understand the best. And it's really funny, if you take images of your current environment, it will include this in the training of the model. So if you take images behind a white wall or a gray wall and they're all kind of the same, that will influence the AI model. If I take images here, for example, in this studio where I have the light in the background and everything like that, then it will have this light in the background too, which may or may not be good for depending what you want to do with these images, just so that you are aware. Once you've uploaded them here and you select the trigger face, this can be anything, and you don't really need to play around a lot with the additional settings. You can, if you want to add some more steps here, add a little more steps. This is the number of steps that it takes to train this model. So the more steps you add, the better it will understand your image quality, but it will also cost you more to train this model. On average, I think it took like around $5 or so to train a model, maybe a little bit more depending on how many steps you do. I would suggest leaving it at least at the 2,500 steps. If you want to do more, you can always do more to figure out how to train this properly. You click on start and then you can go train a model with your images. Once you've done so, you can click on here, run interface, and this is now a trained model on my portraits. What I can do here is come and type in a prompt. You can type in a really simple prompt like guy sitting, and it will then generate an image like this with my trained model. So it will be my face, hopefully. We'll see. There we go. So this is me sitting at a laptop, and this is actually part of the background of what I trained the model to be. And sometimes you can also add to this. So the more sophisticated you make your prompts, the more you can have this in the way that you would want it to be. So for example, here you see it added a watch and it added this chair. Now you could go and say wearing neon hoodie, and the more details you put into your prompt, the better the image will be exactly what you want it to be. So for example, here we have me in a neon orange hoodie in front of a laptop. It's not a MacBook anymore. I'm not wearing a watch anymore. You see any information that you don't give it specifically, it will then not complete. What you can do as well is you can select one of these custom GPTs here that does image prompts, and it will most probably give you a way better output. I don't know about GPT Tools Co. It seems it needs to access an API in the background to give you this output. And you see what this prompt is already doing is it's being way more specific with the type of shot, the type of look, everything reflecting the vivid, unexpected. All of this is gonna give me a way better output on the prompt. Now, we always need to include the initial sentence to make sure the model understands it needs to create this based off the training, and not crazy good. Then you can always go adjust it a little bit to see if the output is a little bit different. And now each time you'll use the prompt, it's going to be different. So even if we use the exact same prompt, it's going to be different. This is kind of cool. And what you can do is you can always download the image and then go continue your work on Canva or wherever you would want to go at a later point, and then use these images for your thumbnails and so on. So I'm going to actually use this image now for my thumbnail of this video. I'm gonna go put it into Canva and get it ready for the final thumbnail. Very cool. And just for cost, your request took 5 seconds and it cost you a couple cents. So for $1, you can run this model 29 times. So I could do 29 images for $1, which is kind of good. Definitely better than these other providers out here that really restrict you on what is possible. So if you got value from this and this is useful to you, feel free to give this a follow. I'll be posting more videos about these AI tools all the time and what I'm trying, what I'm learning, so that you can follow along. And if you have any questions or anything, add it in the comments so that I can make a video about it next. And if you see another video right here, you should probably check that out.